How exactly does the human brain store memories? Think about it. Right now, close your eyes and recall a memory from your childhood. Maybe the day you first rode a bicycle, maybe your first love, or perhaps an embarrassing moment that has never left your memory for years. Now let me tell you something strange. You may not be remembering that memory exactly as it was originally stored in your brain. In fact, your brain may be rewriting that memory every single time you recall it. But how exactly does that happen? Where does our brain store billions of memories? Because there isn't a huge storage space inside your skull. There isn't a folder or a file inside your brain labeled childhood memories either. Yet somehow you can remember events that happened years ago, sometimes down to the smallest details. How is that possible? This is where the story begins. Every second, millions of pieces of information flood into our brains. The light from your screen, the temperature of your room, the feeling of sitting in your chair, sounds coming from a distance, the beating of your heart. If your brain tried to store all of this information, it would be completely full within a few days. That's why your brain works like a ruthless editor. It throws away the vast majority of information. It only keeps what it considers important. But how does it decide what's important? This is where a small structure deep within our brain comes into play, the hippocampus. You can think of the hippocampus as the brain's recording officer. It examines the events you experience throughout the day and decides which ones are worth storing for the long term. But it doesn't work alone. It has a powerful partner, the amygdala. The amygdala is the part of the brain that deals with emotions. It becomes active especially when you experience strong emotions such as fear, excitement, happiness, and surprise. And it tells the hippocampus, "Wait, this is important. You need to keep this." That's why most people don't remember what they ate on a Tuesday last month. Sometimes they don't even remember what they ate just 2 days ago. But they can never forget a very happy or very frightening event that happened years ago. Because emotions are like the glue of memories. But where are memories physically stored? This is where things get really interesting. For many years, scientists searched for a memory box inside the brain, but they never reached a conclusion, because memories are not stored in a single location. In fact, they are spread throughout the brain. Think about a birthday party. The image of the cake is processed in one region, the sound of the music in another, the faces of your friends in another, and the happiness you felt is processed somewhere else entirely. Your brain connects all of these pieces together with invisible threads, and those connections form your memories. These connections are established through neurons. The human brain contains approximately 86 billion neurons. That number is close to the number of stars in the Milky Way galaxy, and each one is constantly communicating with the others. Whenever you learn something new or experience something new, certain neurons fire together. As this happens repeatedly, the connections between them become stronger, just like a path forming in the middle of a forest. The more it is used, the more visible it becomes. And that's exactly how our memories are formed. But there's a very surprising detail here. Memories are not as reliable as you might think. In fact, they can sometimes be completely misleading. Because our brains do not store memories like video recordings. Every time we remember them, we rewrite them. Which means that the childhood memory you're recalling right now may actually be a version that has been modified many times over the years. Scientists have shown that people can remember events they never actually experienced as if they truly happened. In other words, our brain is not a perfect recording device. It is a perfect storyteller. So why do we forget? In reality, forgetting is not a flaw of the brain. It's one of its greatest superpowers. Just imagine Remembering every face you've ever seen, every conversation you've ever had, every single detail of your life, your brain would probably be overwhelmed by information all the time. That's why the brain removes information it considers unnecessary. It creates more room for what truly matters. So forgetting is not a flaw in the system, it's what makes the system work more efficiently. And perhaps the most fascinating part of this entire story is this: who you are right now, the things you love, your fears, your dreams, your decisions. All of them are the result of billions of connections inside your brain. What makes you who you are is not your bones or your muscles, it's your memories. And those memories are still quietly living inside your head at this very moment. But the next time you remember them, they may have changed just a little.